This is your grooving GreatTreeJam, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Mass Effect 1. Last time we left off, we continued hunting down Helena Blake's former partners in crime for UNC hostile takeover. We had just taken out the crime lord of Mavigon, leaving only one more target to eliminate. We tracked the target to Clensal in the disk system and engaged him and his mercenaries. After a prolonged firefight, we finally dispatched the remaining crime lord. Now that we've taken out both of the crime lords for UNC hostile takeover, it's time to see if we can either convince Helena Blake to disband her gang or put her down. Before we do, I think it's time to, as always, sit back and see some of the news reports and conversations within the Mass Effect 1 elevators. So let's just get an idea of what's been going on in the universe during our adventures.
In entertainment news, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with L-Corps cast members. The production will open dramatic theater to the L-Corps with a Hamlet who uses L-Corps body language and pheromones. Kitt claims that he's also excited by giving a human audience the chance to judge Hamlet by his deeds and not his emotions. A research station on Noveria has reportedly been destroyed. The exact cause is currently unknown. Given the research conducted on Noveria, many are blaming the destruction on an experiment gone awry. Administrator Anoleus currently faces criminal charges as a result of the disaster, although the nature of the charges remains unclear.
Let all races herald the glory of the Enkindlers who raised them all to enlightenment. Where there was only darkness, the Enkindlers gave light. Where there was only ignorance, the Enkindlers gave wisdom. Where there was only silence, the Enkindlers gave the gift of speech. This very station is the work of the Enkindlers, their gift to all their children.
Celebrations are being planned for the anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars. Many Council worlds, particularly Asari and Solarian colonies, will hold victory parades to commemorate the defeat of the invading Rachni. In a rare admission of debt, several Asari colonies have invited Krogans to be honored for the victories the uplifted Krogans made possible. In a further development in the Eden Prime investigation, the Council has reportedly revoked the Spectre status of one of its operatives. While the unnamed operative has not yet been apprehended, a Council spokesman confirmed that corrective actions had been taken.
Art doesn't normally do much for me, but that relay statue, I like.
The Protheans obviously understood the aesthetic value of the mass relays, something we Quarians have learned to appreciate during our wanderings.
Hard to believe the Krogan were once seen as the saviors of the galaxy.
The Krogan rebelled against the Council, yet they have a statue on the Citadel, and we Quarians still live as outcasts.
A research facility in the Hades Gamma Cluster was the victim of an attack by biotic extremists. The drugged researchers attacked Alliance soldiers, and the rescue operation became a brutal massacre. The research center is unlikely to reopen in the near future.
Is it common for human women to be front-rank fighters, Chief Williams? I know that Solarian women do not serve in the military.
It's becoming more common, but it took a long time to prove that ladies could handle an assault rifle or a shotgun.
On the flotilla, we don't have the luxury of sexism. We need the best hands for every available job.
Sounds nice, but I don't think I could get used to the uniform.
Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Welcome back to the CIC, folks. It's actually time for us to start the next part of UNC hostile takeover. We're going to head over to the Amaranthine system and claim our reward from Helena Blake and/or convince her to never show her face around us again. So let's see if we can get right on that. So let's open up the galaxy map and finish up this assignment. So let's go ahead and leave the Citadel docks and get out of the Widow system. It is time for us to head over to the Horsehead Nebula, and we now have a new system that's opened up, the Fortuna system. This is where we'll be meeting Helena Blake for the final part of UNC Hostile Takeover. So I will see you guys there momentarily. Alright, we've made it to the Fortuna system. As before, we're going to keep looking around for resources before we land down on mission or assignment planets. So let's drop off at the planet of Meganless. And we can service this for a Turian insignia. Now, something I should note is that in the last episode, we actually finished up our collection of Turian insignias, but I will still continue to mark the insignias for you guys, and just so I can get a little bit of completionist stuff going on. But let's go ahead and stop off the planet of Theramlon next, and we have some plutonium. We don't really need it either, because we finished up the valuable mineral quest as well. I mean, we're really getting these quests done and getting them hammered out. Amaranthine is the location where Helena Blake is waiting, but before we go there, let's make a stop at Wentania. Nothing here, of course, but we can I'll keep that on the screen long enough for you guys to pause the video and read it at your own pace. But now that we're done, let's make Planetfall and Amaranthine and see if we can meet up with Helena Blake. Amaranthine is a chilly rock world with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Its frozen surface consists largely of light titanium and aluminum oxides, with deposits of thorium and other heavy metals located in the deep crust. Amaranthine was named by the human poet Sofia Cabral during her tour of duty aboard the Alliance surveyor ship Coupe, I believe? Under the dim light of the red dwarf Fortuna, the surface of this world is lit in rich twilight blues and purples even at midday. This is the place where we're going to be meeting Helena Blake, and I think if we are lucky enough, we may be able to convince her to stand down and give her the boot, so to speak. And we should be able to do it without any sort of violence. Let's go ahead and land. I just want to note that I really wanted to get this episode up and running soon, but man, like Christmas can really take a lot out of your schedule. But now that we're back, it's time to get back in the swing of things. So we're going to be taking Ashley Williams along with us and Tali Zora. But ladies and gents, we are set. We are go for Amaranthine. Let's get boots on the ground. Alright, we've made Planetfall. Let's go ahead and open up the map real quick. I want to note a couple things. Actually 3 things I should note. There's an ore deposit right about here, and it's just barely visible on our sensors. The second thing I want to note, there's another ore deposit around this area, and yet a third one somewhere roughly around here, I believe. Let's go ahead and claim the most obvious resource, and we do have the base where Helena is waiting for us right here. This is going to be our last stop on this world, and we're not going to have any noteworthy combat that we have to worry about. There's going to be a nice little leisurely drive on the planet of Amaranthine, so let's go ahead and just claim this ore deposit real quick. I'm not going to need to cut the footage because it's actually pretty close by. So let's see if we can drive up here, get past the works, get around the terrain. And we're almost up on the ore deposit. It's right about here.
I'm on my way.
And we have some iridium. And my neighbor is knocking downstairs. I don't know why. Well, let's go ahead and claim this for the Gold Alliance. Or do that too. This is gonna go terribly. Bird. Let's try it again. There we go. We now have some iridium. Let's go ahead and get back in the Mako, and we are actually going to circle around this way, and then I will drive off screen and then continue collecting resources, going south and stopping at the engineering outpost. let's go ahead and mark our deposit right here, and I will see you guys in just a moment. Alright, we found some uranium, so let's go ahead and get on foot and start business for the Alliance. Let's go ahead and claim this real quick. There we go. We've got some uranium. Let's get back in the Mako and try and claim the next resource pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the area right about there. I think that's right about there. Yeah, it's about right there, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut the footage and resume when I get to my destination. See you in just a bit. Alright, we've come across some, I believe it's thorium. Let's go ahead and grab this real quick. I do want to try and get to the Helena Blake portion as quickly as possible, so I'm not wasting too much time. So with that being said, let's get back in the Mako. I'm going to drive off screen, and we're going to meet back up at this debris pile right here. So I will see you guys momentarily. The view is fantastic. Yes! I gotta say, I'm really liking the visuals here. Ah, well, you know what? We got resources to collect. Oh yeah, like, get a fucking picture of this. This is like some serious visual shit right here. I gotta say, I think I love the most about Mass Effect 1, as far as the planetary portions. They seem to have really gotten the sky just right. And man, hang on, I need to stop and take this in. It's just oh yeah. Like that fucking like atmospheric lighting. I don't know if it's realistic, and I don't really care. It just looks, oh yeah, that looks nice. All right, I'm getting distracted. Let's go ahead and finish up on this planet, shall we? All right, we found a crash probe of some kind, so let's go ahead and get out on foot and claim whatever's inside. Let's go ahead and just hack this real quick. And there we go. Got some stuff that I really don't need, but it's always good for melting down to Omnigel if need be. I might decide to stop doing so many of the hacking games now that I have a good supply of Omnigel. Well, let's go ahead and mark this destination right here, and I will see you guys there. It seems we have some ancient debris, and I suspect this might be... It could be Turian insignia, but I don't remember quite right, so let's go ahead and just take a closer look. Go ahead and recover this artifact real quick. Oh, there we go. And indeed it is an Turian insignia from the Galatana colony. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but oh well. We humans manage. And now I believe we are done with the surface collection for Amaranthine. Let's go ahead and meet at the outpost. And let's see if we can talk Helena Blake out of her tree and see if we can... who are we kidding? We're either gonna put her down or we're gonna convince her never to come back. Let's get to it. Alright, we're coming up on the outpost. It seems to be pretty secluded. Not many people pay attention to this place. But let's go ahead and head inside, and Helena Blake is waiting for us. But just in case, it's always a good idea to be well equipped for any situation. So let's go ahead and put on some plating and some shielding. I don't think we're gonna need it, but better be safe than sorry. And I believe we're set. Let's go ahead and enter the facility. And here we are. All we have to do is open the door and we'll be face to face with the woman herself. Let's finish up this assignment and let's see what we can get from Helena Blake as far as either getting her to disband or putting her down.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude. With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
I killed them because they deserved it. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
Surely you don't think that necessary. Under my leadership, this organization will restrict itself to gambling and smuggling illegal technologies. These crimes are hardly worth your time. If you press the issue, my assistants are very well equipped to deal with you.
Now, as Helena Blake is hinting, if you try and push the issue without being able to convince her, then you may be forced to just take the bribe that she offers you, or you can place her under arrest and she will fight back, at which point you'll be forced to kill her. we're going to be seeing Helena Blake again in Mass Effect 2 for a quick cameo appearance. And since we have the option, let's see if we can get her to walk away.
This gang has a reputation for drugs and slaving. It's too late to change that.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this organization has been so tainted by those two idiots that it cannot be redeemed. If I disband the gang, I walk away freely. I have not come so far to be arrested. I would die before going to prison. I would most certainly kill before going to prison. Now, do we have a deal?
Let's go ahead and take her at her word. We could choose to gun her down for experience, but that's something that we really don't need right now. And for a roleplay perspective, I think we're going to give her a chance to show us her better side.
You're free to go. I don't ever want to see this gang again. If I do...
You won't. I'm not so foolish as to break my word to a Spectre. Now, if you'll excuse me, my men become nervous in the presence of law enforcement agents. Goodbye, Shepard.
Not a very good idea to let a hardened criminal go, but she's made it pretty clear that she does not want to double-cross the Spectres. Not a very good decision for any criminal in the galaxy. But let's go ahead and move around the base, see if we can get some loot. We can actually go ahead and hack the crates and the mercenaries will not attack us. Nonetheless, we do want to be ready for anything. These are mercs. They are unpredictable. And, well, look at this. None of them are reacting, but still, just in case we need to be... We don't want to take this lightly at all. Let's go ahead and collect... Once we collect these 2 items, I think the only thing left are 3 or 4 items on the top floor. So let's head up the stairs. And we are pretty much done with UNC Hostile Takeover. It was a pretty easy assignment for our level. We don't have to worry too much about combat for this portion, for the particular choice that we're going for in this playthrough. But let's go ahead and just use some Omni Gel, claim the stuff, and move into this next room at the end of the hallway. Now, 2 things to note is that if you are going to pursue combat, keep in mind that there are snipers here, so you want to be extremely careful. They do have high ground. Not sure how the position changes much, because I tend to always go for the charm option because I prefer being able to persuade people. It's a gameplay decision style that I have pursued in almost all of my playthroughs. I've only chosen to fight Helena Blake once. I didn't find it very rewarding putting her down. I don't know, it just felt very anticlimactic, so whether or not you choose to put her down is up to you. We're going to give her the chance to walk away for 2 reasons. I want to have the conversation with her in Mass Effect 2 because she does give some... It's a very minor piece of dialogue, but it is something that reflects that she is willing to just change her ways just a little bit. And 2, it's safe to assume that Helena Blake knows better than double-cross a Spectre. No one is going to be... Even a woman as crafty as Helena Blake is not going to try double-crossing us. But now that we're done here, it's time to board the Mako. I'm going to go ahead and reclaim equipment from my squad mates. And I believe we're set. So I will go ahead and call for exfil, and I will see you guys back in the CIC. Alright, and that is the end of UNC Hostile Takeover. Since we spared Helena Blake, we will see her again in Mass Effect 2. We're going to have a little bit of dialogue with her, nothing too groundbreaking as far as extra moments in game, but she is a character and we will meet her on a certain station. The same station where we'll be meeting yet another major character within the Mass Effect universe. But for now, it's time for me to call it quits. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave you guys with a little bit of a, parting gift. And that's just to let you guys know, the next set of assignments are going to be dealing with a certain organization that we will be meeting in Mass Effect 2. I've actually postponed these assignments for last because I want to do them in a certain order that I feel is most appropriate. We're going to head back to the Citadel, and if you remember Admiral Kahoku, we're going to be meeting with him. He had a request for us to find some men that went missing, but we need to be on our toes because it turns out there is a lot of stuff going on in the background. There is a conspiracy. and this organization is not going to appreciate us snooping around. But for right now, it's time to call it a vid. Alright, this is GreatTreeJam. I just want to wish you guys a happy day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever you may be in this universe or the next. I'm going to go ahead and get another cup of coffee, because I'm almost as dead as a doornail. But until we meet again, guys, I hope you guys have a great holiday, wherever you may be, whether it's Christmas, whether you had a good Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, whatever you had. I hope it's been pretty productive, and I hope you guys had some fun. But until we meet again, I want to bid you farewell. Bye.